1107.
Senate Bill 1107.
So this strikes subsection C from the disorderly conduct provision. Section C is the provision that deals with behaviors that occur on the school grounds or at a school-sponsored event. And the reason for this bill is Virginia leads the nation in referring kids to law enforcement for behaviors that at one time were handled through the disciplinary process. And disproportionately, we are impacting students with disabilities because a lot of the behaviors that they are being referred to law enforcement under this statute for are things like, and these are real examples, real cases. A student from Henrico who was, and they were only, these examples I'm giving you are students who were only charged with disorderly conduct under Section C. There was a kid from Henrico who was singing a rap song on the school bus. A kid in the city of Richmond who was running with scissors in the hallway. A kid from Hampton with mental health needs who was running through the cafeteria and shouting. A kid who moved into the school division, this is also Hampton. He was a bus rider. He tried to get on the bus. A teacher thought he wasn't supposed to get on the bus and blocked him, so he pushed past her. 3 cases in Danville of kids, a kid swearing at a teacher, a kid who cut in line, and one who was hit by another kid and struck back. In Roanoke, a 13-year-old girl, young black girl who was yelling at the parent of a white child. The parent got out of the car, put her in a chokehold. The parent was charged with assault and battery, and the girl was charged with disorderly conduct. In Lynchburg, 3 separate situations where students with mental health needs were flailing, and because they couldn't handle a schedule change, and they were put in handcuffs, and they were charged with disorderly conduct, and one was charged with assault and battery of an officer. A kid in Norfolk who was yelling profanities at another student and was charged with disorderly conduct. A lot of these behaviors, when we were in school, were handled through the discipline process. But what we're seeing now is an increase in the number of kids who are being referred to law enforcement under this charge for behaviors that really aren't crimes. And disorderly conduct, it is so vague and subjective that we think that this is really criminalizing childhood behaviors that should not be criminalized. And for most of, when there's been opposition to bills similar to this, most of the instances that opponents use to say this is why we need disorderly conduct, there are other statutes that you could charge that child with, other things you could refer them to law enforcement with. We don't really need this provision anymore.